Hello, I'm Dr. Michelle Retz. I'm a director for BNI Arizona. I'm also a member of BNI Connectors. I'm here today to help you create specific, effective 25 to 45 second presentations. And we're going to be talking about a topic called least common denominator, or LCD. This is kind of like the lowest common denominator that comes from algebra, where we take information, a concept or a number, and chunk it down to the smallest bite-sized piece, or the least common denominator. When it comes to your business, if you can break your business down and focus on one specific aspect each week in your presentation, it's been shown to be much more effective than using a laundry list of services or products that you provide, or meaningless terms like full service. So by using handouts, samples, or visual aids, you're more likely to create a lasting impression that your chapter members can remember to pass you warm referrals. So we know that the more people see, hear, taste, touch, feel any aspect of your business, the better they're likely to remember your message and then be able to help refer you to your business. So try to include all the aspects of the senses when you can. Some examples for weekly presentations might include using specific products or services. Each product that you offer or service that you offer will be one weekly presentation. So if you've got a list of products or services, you've got several weeks, if not months worth of material for your weekly presentations. You could discuss benefits that you provide to consumers, clients, patients who use your business versus your competition. And each one of those benefits is one weekly presentation. You could talk about your qualifications or certifications, how it makes you stand out from other people in your competition, and what they gain from using you. And each one of those qualifications is one weekly presentation. And so you see how you could easily get a few weeks going in each of these categories. You could talk about the benefits of using your business and specific target markets. Each demographic or each target market that you hone your business in on is one weekly presentation as well. Finally, if there's any handouts, visual aids, or samples that you'd like to give to the group that highlight jobs that you do, areas that you work in, or even pictures that show jobs that you've done, that's a really effective way to add extra to your weekly presentation each week. So let me give you an example. A real estate agent might be struggling just like you, trying to figure out what's my least common denominator? How can I make these weekly presentations really good each week? They often work with different target markets and different types of dwellings, and each one of those would be a really great presentation. So for instance, new home buyers, right? Someone who's never purchased a home before, they're completely new to the market. They really need a lot of hand-holding and a lot of education. That would be a perfect presentation. Also, people who are interested in buying or selling condos. That's a specific type of dwelling and very different from a single family home. So one week they could talk about buying or selling condos. The next week they could highlight single family homes. That's also another common dwelling that they might work with. And they could talk about the pros and cons of using single family homes. They might talk about investors that they work with. And each one of those types of investors is one weekly presentation. They also might talk about different investment properties that they work with as well. And each one of those properties also serves to act as a presentation for each week. So if they have 4 investors or different property types, that's a whole month of presentations they have already set up. Likewise, fixer-uppers, people who are looking for homes to purchase and then fix up and flip, that's a great weekly presentation. That's sort of a different demographic. And families who are downsizing, the kids are off to college, they're out of the home, they're looking to get into a smaller home or perhaps a different community, that's a great weekly presentation. Likewise, families who are growing or upsizing, they need a bigger house. They're looking for new communities with new schools, different aspects to the community, that's a great presentation as well. And finally, they might talk about different communities that they serve in or different areas that they sell different dwellings in. And so each one of those communities would be a different presentation because they have different demographics, different socioeconomic status, different perks, pros and cons, and they're going to target different people. So each one of those would be a really great presentation each week. And finally, no matter what the business is, it can always be really helpful to give a case example, a scenario in which you're describing a certain person or a family perhaps that you helped, or a product or service that you provided to them, and how that worked out for them. Telling a story in a very short, specific amount of time is a really great way to get people to remember a certain aspect of your business or what you do. It's a really great way to do that. And regardless of the business, it's always easy to tell a story about somebody that you helped. So you might be sitting there thinking, I'm not a real estate agent. How does this apply to my business? I still don't know how to do my least common denominator. But truthfully, nobody knows your business like you do. So basically, it just comes down to being able to break your business down into bite-sized pieces so that you're sharpshooting your way through your presentation each week rather than shotgunning through it and creating this laundry list of services that nobody can really latch onto, or again, using those meaningless terms like full service that nobody knows really what it means. It's kind of vague. You can even highlight each week when you do your presentation, you can highlight or give a preview of what you'll be speaking about the next week. And so that will really get your chapter members interested and perked up next week. They hear a topic they're interested in listening to, they're already going to be ready to listen to you and excited to listen for your presentation, and that much more likely to pass you business. So if you can do a series of lowest or least common denominators for a year, you will have so effectively trained the members in your chapter on your products and services and your type of industry. There's no way they can't help but give you really warm, specific referrals. And so it also, if you can be very specific each week, it also shows your breadth and knowledge and depth of your industry as well. At the end of the day, what we're doing is training our sales force. Our chapter members are our sales force. It's not about closing sales. It's about creating the most effective sales force we can have every week. And if you can be specific, succinct, and very effective in showing all the different facets of your business, each week you're training them on this huge umbrella of services and products and things that you provide to folks. That's your sales force, and that's how you get effective, really specific referrals. Finally, and that's really what least common denominator is all about. Finally, don't wing it. I would say it probably takes about 2 minutes of preparation each week to create a very specific, tailored, articulate, professional presentation that mirrors what you want to exemplify to your chapter. So don't wing it. Take a few minutes, write it down on a piece of paper, text it into your phone so you can read it later, or actually just take a few minutes verbalizing it out loud so that you can practice it, hone it, and say specifically what you want, who you're asking for, in a professional way that you want people to remember you by. That's all I've got for you on least common denominators today. Again, I'm Dr. Michelle Retz with BNI Arizona. I can't wait to see how your presentations turn out. Have a great week.